Living the empowered life. Living the empowered life. That is our theme for 2013. And we are no longer on the verge of heaven, as Ron was just singing in his song, but we are stepping into this kingdom of heaven, which is right here and right now. Our theme is living the empowered life, and every month we're going to explore a new quality, a theme that will help us live that empowered life. You see, living the empowered life is all about accepting, claiming, and living from the power of the divine in you. Because the power of the divine is in everyone. Each person in this room, every person in the world is a unique creation of God, a unique individualized expression of God, and there is that divine power in you. In Unity, we call that power the Christ, because we acknowledge that Jesus fully embodied his divine power, didn't he? He fully embodied it and expressed it. So as you and I step forward into living this empowered life, right? As we step forward into living this empowered life, what we're really doing is accepting, claiming, and living from the power of the Christ in us, the power of the Christ in you. And so each month we have a particular theme that we're going to focus on. And this month of January, our theme is purpose. Purpose. And in fact, I have an affirmation on the screen behind me, because for every month we've written a particular prayer statement or an affirmation that we can hold to help us stay true to the theme of the month. So if you would speak this with me together. I am on purpose. Every step I take brings me closer to my dreams. And I'd like to ask you, if you would, to speak it again. But this time, I invite you to speak it, believing it. Okay? One more time. I am on purpose. Every step I take brings me closer to my dreams. Is that possible? Yes. It is possible. Because we do live in an infinite world. You know, Jesus said, I came that they might have life and have it abundantly. I came that they might have life and have it abundantly. Why did he say that? Because he knew that he was an individualized expression, really a full embodiment of God, and that God is an infinite God. And if that is true, then we live in an infinite world with infinite possibilities. So we are here to live the abundant life, the empowered life. So, what is your purpose? Why in the world are you here? Why are you here on this planet right now? That's what we're going to talk about today. Why are you here? Why am I here? There was a poem written by William Stafford, and the poem was called Ask Me. And there's a line in this poem that is captivating. And so you imagine that you're at the end of your life, many years in the future, and you're looking back upon your life. And then this line is spoken. Ask me whether what I have done is my life. I'm at the end of my life. I'm looking back and I ask the universe, ask me whether what I have done is my life. You see, it's your life to live. It's your purpose to live, and yours and mine are different. And in this book by Parker J. Palmer called Let Your Life Speak, he talks about this poem and how that line really resonated with him, how the words of that line resonated with him. He says, they remind me of moments when it is clear, if I have eyes to see, that the life I am living is not the same as the life that wants to live in me. The life I am living is not the same as the life that wants to live in me. Now, some of you may be in that place right now. You may have this sense that your life, while good enough, is that there's something more. There's something else that wants to express through you. Because sometimes we lose sight of what our real purpose is. And so that's the question before us today. My question to you is, why are you here? What is the life that wants to live through you? What is the difference that you're to make in this world? Why in the world are you here? And what we're really talking about here is your mission your purpose. Some call it a mission statement. How many of you here have a mission statement or a purpose statement? Raise your hand. Raise them really high so I can see. Oh, good, a bunch of you. Yeah, a bunch of you have. That's awesome. A mission statement or a purpose statement is a guiding statement for your life. A guiding statement that speaks to who you are and the imprint that you will leave upon this world. Who you are and the difference that you will make in this world. Now, some people call it a mission, some call it a vision, some call it a purpose, but you get it. It's how it is that you're to be on this planet. And it comes from deep within. Nobody else can tell you what your mission is. It comes from a place deep in you. A place that's been there so long that you may have forgotten what it is. But everybody here has a purpose. Some of you are out there saying, no, I don't know that I have a purpose. I just take one day at a time. I get it. Yes, surrender is good. I take one day at a time too. And yet I'm telling you that there is a purpose in you. There's examples of mission statements in the Bible. You know, I spoke Jesus' powerful statement, I came that they might have life and have it abundantly. From John 10, I came that they might have life and have it abundantly. Isn't that a beautiful statement? That's enough of a statement for a whole life. And he wasn't just speaking about the people at the time. His words are eternal words that speak to us as well. The prophet Isaiah, his mission statement, he speaks about how it is that God called him. And he said, he has sent me to bring good news to the oppressed, to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and release the prisoners. That's a heck of a mission statement. Yeah. Now, at some level, you might say we all have the same purpose. I mean, at some level, we're all here to express God in our own unique way. We're all here to know our oneness with God. Course in Miracles says we're all here to forgive. That's our function on the planet. So at some level, we may all have the same purpose, but there is something unique that only you can express. And if you don't express it, we will miss that. In that same book, Parker J. Palmer talks about watching his granddaughter. And he says that from the moment she was born, he could see that she was unique. He could see her unique preferences and predispositions. He could see her likes and her dislikes. And he decided to make a commitment to record all that he observed about her, to write down her uniquenesses and what made her special. Because, you see, what he has found and what I have found, and maybe you have too, is that we forget. We forget what we came in the world with. We forget the loves and the desires that we had when we were 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. In fact, he goes on to say that we arrive in this world with birthright gifts, and then we spend the first half of our lives abandoning them or letting others disabuse us of them. Birthright gifts. And what he means by that is that we want to accommodate the world, and we want to accommodate the people who love us and tell us how we should be. And so we let go of our individual initial preferences, desires, and gifts in order to become acceptable to parents and teachers and bosses and others. We just do that. And then he says, however, if you're awake in life, he says, if we are awake, aware, and able to admit our loss of that self, we spend the second half trying to recover and reclaim the gift we once possessed. And most of us in the room here are at some place of that, wanting to reclaim whatever we may have lost or abandoned for someone else. We want to claim who we are, our unique purpose, our divine inheritance, each one individual. And so he's going to give this letter, and I guess the book's a little bit, it's probably 10 or years old or more, so maybe by now he's already given this letter to his granddaughter. He was going to give it to her when she was in her late teens or her early 20s, to remind her who she was. To remind her who she was, that purpose that she was born with. Because I don't know about you, I wish somebody would give me such a letter today. Because some days I just know I've forgotten. And And I want to be reminded from somebody who sees that in me. So if you're a grandparent, hey, I invite you to do this, because it's a cinch that your grandchild, by the time they're your age, they will have forgotten much of what you can write right now. And that will be a permanent reminder, a permanent diary for them, if you will. So I know that you in the room, many of you have really powerful mission statements. A bunch of you raised your hands. And I'd like to ask those of you who are willing to share those mission statements with us now. I've got some microphone volunteers who are going to help. And I want you to have the opportunity to hear the powerful mission statements that are present in this room. So, yeah, if our volunteer, yeah, you can go ahead and stand up if you would. So raise your hand if you would like to share and speak aloud your mission statement, because you know the truth, that when you speak your mission, right, when you speak it out loud, it carries extra power of attraction. So raise your hand really high if you have a mission statement. Ah, wonderful.
Basically, my mission statement revolves around the fact that I want everybody to learn each other's language so they can understand each other's worldview a lot better than they do right now. And I think that's really important. So that's basically my mission statement, to spread the movement of this in ever-increasing measure.
And let's acknowledge him. Thank you for that. That's beautiful. That's awesome. And by the way, I just want to remind you that as you share your mission statement, it's going to be recorded for our audio and video recordings. So that way your words will go out and have great power for the world.
Why is my heart thumping so loud right now? My mission is to empower and enlighten both young and old through an 8-step process that changed my life when I was 34. Thank you so much.
Awesome. We thank you for that. Yes, we do.
I breathe hope into the world and inspire courageous conversations.
Yes.
My purpose is to fully participate in the divine flow of giving and receiving.
Raise your hand.
I am a divine spiritual being filled with love, compassion, and empathy, forgiving myself and all others for any real or perceived debts, errors, wrongs, sins, or shortcomings, yielding to the healing power of Christ within me.
And Byron, we have one more right there.
My mission statement is to spread God's love to people with their flaws and fortes, releasing the burdens of being judged.
Oh, let's take a breath. I want to thank those who shared, because you have called us into your life. You've called us to be witness to you as you live your mission. So you are a blessing to us. Your clarity of focus in your life is a blessing to us. In one of the books I read, I think it was the Parker Palmer book, he says it's as if there are all these locks in the universe that need to be unlocked for it to work in the way it was meant to work, and each of us has our own key. And if any one of us doesn't unlock what is ours to unlock, then the universe, well, it's missing something. I mean, we know the universe is complete, but in the sense that if you and I don't show up to claim and live our purpose, then one of those locks goes closed. So we're here to explore creating or clarifying your own mission. And a mission statement is a guiding life statement that speaks to who you are and the difference you will make in the world. It is a statement that when you are clear about your mission, it guides you in the big decisions and it guides you in the little decisions. It guides you moment to moment. Let me share with you about my mission. My mission is to be a loving presence that inspires others to experience love and take loving action. To be a loving presence that inspires others to experience love and take loving action. Now, the way that that mission works for me is that there are times I walk into a room, a space, well, this happens actually very often, and I don't know for sure why I'm there. But if I will just pause and remember my mission, I remember, oh, I'm here to be a presence of love. That's why I'm here. No matter what happens, no matter what's said, what's decided or not, I'm here to be a presence of love and to inspire others to know love and to take loving action. That's why I'm here. And I will tell you that my mission carries with it a very clear image for me, because actually before I put those words to it, I had the visual image of it first. I've always believed that the way that Jesus healed in this world was through his power of love, that he was a perfect, complete embodiment of love. And such perfect love heals. And so when people were healed of whatever it was Jesus' power of love. That just to be in his presence would heal, whatever it was. This is my core belief about Jesus and how the Christ works in us. And so there's that one story in the Bible where there's a woman who's been ill for 12 years. She's been bleeding. And she just knows if she can get close enough to Jesus to touch him, that she will be healed. And so she manages to wend her way through the crowd, and she gets close enough that all she does is touch the hem of his coat, the hem of his cloak. And in that moment, she's healed. So my image for my mission statement is that I want to be the hem of that cloak. Now, you might say it's grandiose. Some would. You probably wouldn't here in this room. But some would say, well, that's a little grandiose and sacrilegious, and I don't know it all. But you know what? That's the image that comes to me. It's the vision that has called me. It's the purpose that has called me. So when you are clear about your mission and your purpose, you carry it with you wherever you go. It's not about your job. It's about who you are in the world and the difference you want to make in the world. So I'm here today to invite you, to inspire you, to challenge you, to make a commitment to create your mission statement. Now, some of you are saying, but I don't need to have one written down. I know what it is. I know you do. But what do we teach in Unity? What do we teach? We teach that there's power in the Word. There's power in writing down a clear mission statement that you can recite from heart, like these people that we heard from a moment ago. They recited their mission from heart because it called them so clearly. And for some of you, you have a mission, and it's time to relook at it. We do that. We relook at our mission from time to time to see if we're inspired to tweak it or come up with a brand new one. The one that I'm working with now is the one that I've had for a couple of years now, but I had another mission before that. Not radically different, but it came to a time it wasn't singing for me anymore. So, okay, so here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Take your bulletin, if you would, and open it up, because there's a section on there that's called Notes. You'll see a place called Notes. And I'm going to give you today 7 questions that you can ask yourself to help create or clarify your purpose statement or your mission. Some of these are my own questions, and some of these come from Lori Beth Jones' book, The Path. Lori Beth Jones wrote a great book called The Path, and it's all about how to create a mission statement. But so some of these are hers and some of these are mine. And I'm going to give you these questions. You'll have to take your time with them later on, but they will inspire you to hear how it is that God is calling you in this world. So the first question, what is my highest dream in the world? What is my highest dream in the world? What is your highest dream in the world? Your greatest vision for the world? Your highest dream for the world. Now, that's what some call their vision statement. They have a higher vision that actually overrides the mission. I have one of those. My highest dream for the world is a compassionate world of peace, love, and abundance for all. That's my highest dream for the world. Okay, so that's the first question. This gets your thought thinking. What do I want the world to look like and be like? And then the second question is, what is my part in bringing about this vision? What is my role? What is my part in bringing about this vision? I am not single-handedly going to bring about a compassionate world of peace, love, and abundance for all, but I have a part in it. So the second question is, what is your part or your role in bringing about this high vision that you answered in question number 1? Okay, question number 3. What did you love to do as a child? I mean, and some of you are still in your youth, and that's great. Well, we're all in our youth, right? But you know what I mean. What did you love to do when you were, say, under the age of 12? When nobody else was telling you what you had to do, and nobody else was schlepping you to a particular lesson or sports activity, how did you just spend your time? Right? What did you love to do? And you have to be with that, because it's not just the activity, but it's what did you love about the activity? What did you love to do as a child when you were under the age of 12? What most excites you in or about the world? This is question number 4. What most excites you in or about the world? What most excites you about the world? What stirs your passions? What most excites you about this world that we live in? What makes you want to sing or dance or celebrate or laugh? What most excites you about the world? Okay, then we go to the inverse of this. Are you staying with me? Yeah, good, okay. What most excites you about the world? Next question. What most angers or upsets you about the world? What most angers or upsets you about the world? What most angers or upsets you about the world? And I'm going to skip the next question, just go to the 6th question here. How can you use what most excites you to affect or change what angers and upsets you? How can you use what most excites you to affect or change what most angers or upsets you? How can you use what excites you to affect or change what upsets or angers you? Because, my friends, you've got a key, and nobody else has the same key that you do. Really. Nobody else has the same key that you do. We may all have some commonalities because we're all right here in unity, but nobody else has the key that you have. And so before you put your bulletin away with all those questions that you've just written down, I want to invite you to spend a day or more with each of those questions. So when you get up tomorrow to do your morning prayer practice, take the first question and do some journaling about it. Journaling's a fancy word. Just write down what comes to you, okay? Next day, go to question 2, or spend a whole week on question 1. It matters not. There's no race on this one. Take time with it. And in your bulletin, then, there are 2 additional resources specifically chosen to help you with this process. If you look in your bulletin, you'll see there's 2 classes listed at the bottom of, I think it's the center panel. 2 classes. And the first is a class called Living on Purpose, Create Your Best Year Yet in 2013. That's Tammy Rising's class this Wednesday at 6:30, and it's all about how to really help map out your life and how it is that you can create a mission statement. She's going to talk to you specifically about mission statements. She promised me that. And then the second class is the Sacred Abundance class. It's a class not unlike the one that we heard from Patty earlier, the Keys to the Kingdom. It's Tuesdays, beginning January 22nd, and I am teaching that class. So those are tools for you. We're going to be giving you lots of tools every month about living the empowered life. And as you create your mission statements, I want to hear from you. Send them to me. Post them on our Facebook page. Declare them. There's power in declaring them. There's power in speaking them, even if they're still in a rough form, right? This book, Inspired and Unstoppable by Tama Keeves. Some of you remember Tama when she came to speak here not long ago. That wonderful bundle of energy who really is living the empowered life. She says there is one decision that you are to make that will change everything in your life. One decision. And she says it's this. You have to choose to believe you are called. To choose to believe you are called. No less than Isaiah as the prophet in the Bible. No less than Jesus. You are called. She says you have to choose to see yourself as called to be the most alive self you can be. She goes on to say, I'm asking you to choose to believe that you have your dreams for a reason and that an activating energy, and I'm going to call that God, she says an activating energy which feels like instinct will impel you every step of the way. She says it's our work to choose this life. It's our work to choose to believe we're called by something alive to be exceptionally alive. You're called. It's not by accident that you're here. And sometimes we think, oh no, it's everybody else who has a calling, but you have a purpose. And it's important that you know it and that you claim it and that you call on all of the power of God in you to live that purpose. And at the end of your life, you want to look back and know that you live your life, not someone else's life. And it's not too late. Some of you are saying, well, I'm up in years now. No, you know what? It is never too late to get clear about your purpose. Never. So I end you with this ancient Hasidic tale about an elderly rabbi, Rabbi Zusha. And he said, you know, at the end of my life, no one is going to look at me and say, why were you not Moses? If anything, they'll look at me and say, why were you not Zusha? You see, it's your life to live. And we are all here to bear witness to it. We're all here to partner with you, to see your purpose as it manifests in and through you. We're here to live the empowered life together with you. God bless you.